Because it depends on display.
I literally was just putting oil on my foot bottom.
I love when Mom creams her feet, bro. That is the most relatable thing you can ever catch.
Ever seen on YouTube.
Yep.
Hi, beautiful people. Welcome back. It's another episode of the Three of Cups, and we're talking about all the things, like Mama would say, all the things. As you can see from the title, it's a really broad scope of things that we're going to be talking about. But essentially, we're going to just shoot the shit like we do every Friday. And we are going to pull cards and tap into the collective energies as well. All right, guys, welcome, welcome. All right, so guys, where do you want to start? Do you guys want to start with the chaos energy and then just ascend up from there?
Mom, you want to let them know what's going on in our country?
Okay,
we can start there.
So you guys already know that you've been warned to watch the weather, and you've also been informed that the weather are spirits. We know this, right? So there was an earthquake in Zimbabwe. Now, I don't think that's ever happened before, maybe not in a very long time. So there was an earthquake in Zimbabwe, and I immediately thought of the ancestors coming to assist in this shift, because it's still happening. It doesn't matter what we talk about, the consistent shift is still happening with the planet and our ascension and all the things, right? And then so I mentioned it to the girls, and then Jass comes in and says, yeah, there was an earthquake in Haiti same time. And I'm like, And I know when we were talking about the divine feminine, and I think I blurted out, or maybe it wasn't in our video, maybe it was somewhere else, but I know I blurted out, we're chaos. But what I failed to say afterwards, that although we're chaotic, although the energy of the feminine is chaotic, it's the chaos that creates order. So this shake-up that's happening is going to be happening in big giant steps now. You know, we're seeing, I know we said that we don't really want to touch on politics, but politics touched on us. So therefore we have to sometimes bring it up. And we're seeing around the world, here in London, a lot of the restrictions that we were experiencing due to the lurgy, because I won't even name it, they're lifting a lot of these restrictions. And over in Canada, there is a massive demonstration through the people. And also, I know that the same was in Australia with the Aboriginal people. The same has been in New Zealand with the Aboriginal people. And I'm leaning to the suggestion that this shake-up has everything to do with the meek inheriting the earth. Me and the girls were speaking about the gangs, some of the most notorious gangs in the world. We know about the Bloods and the Crips, and some of the OGs are on Instagram, spilling the tea and letting us know that they've actually come together. There was a report at the end of last year in LA from the LAPD guy, commissioner, whatever the fuck he is. And he was warning people not to come to LA because they have no order over there. He actually described it as, it's like the purge out here. So that made me think about the fact that if the police are not in control of the streets, then who is? And also who has taken that that authority away from them. So there's a lot of things that are happening right here in front of us, not so spiritual, and not so to the left with all of the alien stuff and all of that stuff. We're right here with the people, and the people obviously are rising up. And as the Three of Cups, we just want to kind of bring as much attention to it so that you can foresee how y'all are going to be moving, because a global thing that's happening. And so, like we talked about the Bloods and the Crips in LA. Destiny was telling me about the gangs in Jamaica holding the police and the government to ransom and saying like, nothing now go on unless we can settle what we need to settle with you, and we are now going to be protecting the people. You lot don't come outside. That sweeted me the most. But you know, I'm going to try and stay neutral in all of it. And also Jass was telling us about the gangs in Haiti doing exactly the same thing. So we're seeing a ripple, a pattern of unusual events of certain people. I mean, we've been on this energy about coming together. Last week was about the sisters, but I want us to start thinking about this unity consciousness for real now. You know, because if you're not in unity consciousness, if you're still trying to separate yourself and cause divide and cause problems, especially amongst those in the community, in your very own community that you're not only serving but are a part of, you're going to run into some serious problems. So, you know, we're just going to be bringing little bits and pieces of what's happening around the world, the downloads that some of Destiny definitely been getting, because we've also got the Mali deciding that they are falling. They said to France, go away, get out of our country. We want nothing more to do with you. They've given them what I think it was either 72 days or 72 hours to get out. The army, every national, get out of Mali. We're claiming back our land. We don't want you in here. And then as we're having this discussion, Destiny.
So just let me give you guys some context to how cool this works and why the sense of unity is so important. We're all channeling our own individual shit, and we come together and it creates a bigger download. I'm up till 2 a.m. researching Mary Magdalene and Mansa Musa, okay? And I'm channeling how it's the resurrection of the Mansa Musa Empire. So now I'm doing all this research about that empire and how big it was, and him being the wealthiest man in history to date. And to give you some context, okay, to how rich this man was, all right? The richest man alive today is the guy who owns Amazon. He's worth about 180 billion, and Mansa Musa was worth 400. Okay, and his story is really inspiring, but he had a message very similar to Jesus, even though it looks very different, right? But he went and he campaigned, and he was a devoted Muslim, but he was a very spiritual man outside of religion. He was spiritual, and he wasn't inherited the title of emperor. He was appointed it. He earned it through his spiritual practice. He was appointed that position. And I heard that it was the reincarnation of this empire. So now I get on the phone with the girls, and mom's talking about Mali, and he was the 9th emperor of Mali. Talking about how they're done with the shit. That is Mansa energy. A Mansa come into the place and said, I'm done with you. You have 32 hours. And when I say it's done in his way, he gave mercy. He gave them 3 days. That's plenty of time in the world of technology that we have to pack your shit and get the fuck on. He could have killed them. They could have waged war immediately. There could have been so many variables, but it's the rise of the emperor. We talk about terror. We talk about the emperor, the empress. Let's really talk about what that means. We're seeing it collectively in this community. We're so consumed with the masculine showing up as a man. What about the masculine showing up as a massive energy that brings, that tears down oppression, brings liberation and freedom? My God, it was so hot. My feminine energy was just like, man, it's so hot. Like, it was so hot to me, right? But that's why this unity energy, these, remember I was downloading these nations coming together, the union of nations. This is what mom's talking about. It's already occurring. So just see how that triggers you spiritually, and how you're coming into union, how that coming into union with nation energy, like it's a community. The 10 of Pentacles is a community. So you have to work through anything that stops you from coming into union. And it's our wounding, our blockages, our limiting beliefs, our trauma that we're healing and ascending. So take accountability. Like we shared, we had so much triggering that we experienced as getting to know and become closer. But just being willing to do it helped to allow that unity to come in. And now we can channel and manifest together. So with friends, with family, with, of course, romantic partners. And just, Mom, I just feel like it's the perfect time to touch on it, because I have been, and I'm not surprised, because when I was bitter and in my karmic energy, nobody came for me. But when I'm happy and vibing high and coming into union with self, you guys want to come for my neck top. I know what this comes with. Okay. But I was obviously sharing it with my sisters. You know what I'm saying? I snitched to my sisters. All right. And they of course supported me in seeing the bigger picture, which of course I'm downloading as well. I'm not perpetuating or contributing to the self-hate and the hate amongst my sisters. I'm not going to attack my fellow high priestess, regardless of what kind of low vibrational or bitter ass energy they're in. Because I know, because I was bitter and angry, but we know what the root of it, and it's in pain. And the devil's trying to get me to attack someone who's already wounded. And then go do it. No matter how badly my dad wanted to do it. Go do it. So, but I just want to pass it to Mom, because the way she spoke about our community, it was really from the vibe of a mother, where I'm speaking to it from like a sister. Like, I will fuck you bitches up, but I love you. Like, let's just work together. You know what I mean? You know, so Mom, just because you were also talking about the unity and this nation's coming together, this is a part of it. The nation of high priestesses.
Yeah, I think it's really important. I mean, I'm new to the school, you get me? I'm new to the thing. So to even by half, by even an inch be associated with any madness is astounding to me. First of all, I work for the divine. Destiny works for the divine. Jazz works for the divine. We all work for the same person. That's how we all three of us got here into this situation, or person, or energy, or you know what I'm saying, right? So I would assume that my fellow high priestesses do the same. You know, I would assume that we are all working for the same energy to give out the same type of healing and encouragement and guidance that we're all channeled to do, not only for the collective but for ourselves as well. So my small opinion on this is that if we are all working for the same boss, what are we beefing about? You know, I don't understand why another high priestess would come for another high priestess who's just simply trying to do her job. Because a lot of us, you know, some of us don't even want to come on here and do anything. We you know, we just want to keep a low profile and keep our thing. But we are pulled to come into the collective because of the age of technology, the age of Aquarius that we're in, and make ourselves present and known. And it's sad, in my opinion. And like I said, I'm a newbie. I don't know anybody's name. I don't know anybody. I watch two readers. Their names are Queen Cup and Hourglass by Jazz. That's who I watch. So I don't know anything about anybody else. And for the collective as well, to bring you lot into this as well in a positive light, this is just an example of what does happen. The more you shine your light, the more that you are in purpose, the more that you are present, the more that you are doing what you're supposed to be doing, you're going to get adverse energies come to tear you down and try to cut that up. But our test in all of this, because remember, this is a school, Earth is a school, so nothing's really personal really at the end of the day. When we come here to learn, I know that the three of us, we're from the streets. You already know that. We're proud of it and we don't hide it. But our test right now is to take that street mentality and leave it over here and get more into our spiritual gut spiritual path, and that's what we're asking. That's what we're trying to explain to the collective as well. Try not to let these tests, because that's what they are. Don't try not to let these tests lower your vibration, because it's very easy. It's very, very easy to do. But to all high priestesses, whether you're out here doing your thing or you're not, or you know, you're a lower profile, whatever, you know, this is if it's me, then it's you. If it's you, then it's me. So if you whatever you put out there towards anything outside of yourself, you're bringing that back to yourself. I saw something the other day that said you only get back what you give. So what are you giving? What are you giving? And that's something for all of us to ask ourselves on a day-to-day basis. What are we giving? What are we emitting out there? What is it that we are what is our contribution? And our contribution can't continuously be pain now. We've been through the process. So what is it? You know, so that's just what I want to say about that. I don't want the thing that would upset me the most in all of this is for there to be a one division moment. Remember, I told you what happens to witches who don't have control of their emotions. And you can go right back to our very first Three of Cups video. It's all there. So come on, guys. Let's remember we've been pulling cards about bringing the heart and the mind into one accord. You know, so if we can't have control of our emotions and we allow our thoughts to get out of control, you're causing a huge mess, and we're already in a fucking war. Your enemy is my enemy, so that makes you my fucking friend. So what are we doing?
Mm-hmm. I just want to say, I told my sisters before they touched base on this topic, I was going to be silent because I didn't want to kill the positive vibes. But I do want to just piggyback off of both of them and say, with all that being said, peace is a choice. We choose peace in this moment because it's our choice. But in order to choose peace, your ass got to be capable of great violence to be peaceful. And if you're not capable of great violence, you just harmless. So today and every other day, we're choosing to be peaceful, you guys. So when you're testing or dealing with people who have that choice, you have to tread very, very lightly. And as easy as it would be to go tick for tack or to reciprocate, y'all call it keep that same energy in the spiritual community, but that's not the nature of the alchemist. It's not. Keeping that same energy all the time, that's not the nature of the true alchemist. So today and every other day, you guys, we're choosing to be peaceful. That's because our asses are really capable of great violence, okay? So you have to be very careful with who you choose to test out here, because that's alchemy when you make that choice, period.
Not only that, too, I'm going to tell you guys right now, especially when it comes down to revenge. I've touched on it before, but the fact is whatever you feel, whatever excuse you have, it doesn't matter. Whatever you do is a reflection of you, and you bear the responsibility and the karma for your actions and your energy that you put out there. You can say it's for whatever reason. That's why I'm saying only real demons know about vengeance ways, because they're conscious and smart enough to know what comes of it and not give a fuck about it and be willing to die for it. No, you guys don't know about vengeance ways because you're not willing to get back what you put out in the universe. So you need to be mindful. Okay? You guys are playing with fire, especially talking about all this. Whenever I hear people tell me about like, oh, black magic and witch belt, I know that person is talking about themselves. Because men don't know nothing about that. Men don't know nothing about them sitting there. You understand? So the torment that they say they're receiving, it's the universe responding to what they put out. Be accountable, collective, whether you want to call it witchcraft, because none of you guys are involved in the magic and the witchcraft and all that shit, but your fucking mind, your God fucking minded thoughts come back to you in ways. In the 3D, but in the 5D as well. And I've had to learn that, to be accountable. And only through the shadow work could I see a lot of the negative energy I thought I was getting. It wasn't coming from no one but myself. And if it was coming, it was a reflection of the bad that you get where I'm going with this here? Full more accountability, you know? So the less negative energy I put out, I get less of it back. And yeah, I might get whatever, but that to me, when these other women on this industry reach out to me, that it lash out to me, it's a reflection of the pain they're in. Because I remember with karma, because I remember laughing at other readers, ripping other readers and calling them out, and me thinking it was funny and watching, sitting, smoking a spliff. Haha, this is funny. It's not funny. And what makes you realize it's not funny when it happens to you, right? So I just got the negative energy that I put out there back by being entertained by other women attacking other women. But then I don't want to be attacked. And then you're fucked up if you attack me and all, right? It has to really be fair across the board. So yeah, I think we can move off of that, but I wanted to touch on that. I think we did, all of us. You guys feel good with that?
We can move off it, but Destiny, I just want to...
Your level of accountability, I've watched your growth, and it's something beautiful.
Because we've been watching you for years.
Yes, it's beautiful.
I try, yo. We're doing it together, literally.
Yeah.
Yeah, girl.
I wanted to just talk a little bit about, I've been having some strong downloads about chaos. I've been sharing them with my sisters. I really feel like we're in the time of Noah's Ark, and it's the original humans against the fake ones. I don't know, you guys, but I haven't been wanting to fearmonger. And then I started to realize that Earth is creating a lot of this chaos, whether it be through the earthquakes, whether it be through whatever the case may be. She's creating a lot of this chaos, and I think that it's a way to really, really bring the order that Mama D said is necessary. Sometimes we have to break the current system, the current paradigm, to create the new one that's coming into place. And I feel like a lot of this chaos is to assist us with the shifting of these current paradigms. I also was doing my research about the ice caps, you guys, and as they're melting, a lot of prehistoric diseases, bacteria, and viruses are being put into the air as the ice melts. So all of these bacteria, diseases, and everything have been trapped into the ice caps. And now that they're melting, not only are they going into the water, but they're also going into the air. It really made me question COVID and where the fuck it came from. And also, my sister said something. Earth has about 1 billion something years left to her lifespan. She will get rid of our asses before we ever let her die. Let's keep it a whole stat. Earth don't care about us that much, and neither does our creator. When it was time to get rid of the dinosaurs, got them up out of there. When all the floods needed to come through, got us up out of there. In the book of Revelations, our ass is supposed to die by fire. When it's time to go, it's time to go. God will save this earth before it saves the humans. Let's keep it real. And I feel like a lot of this chaos is to assist her with eliminating the amount of chaos that we have come to this planet and created. Decreasing our population is actually one step forward towards eliminating the old paradigms and the people who were carrying those old levels of consciousness. Generation Z is creating our future as we know it. And their level of consciousness, if it's not being wrongly influenced by these previous predecessors, ancestors, elders, and things of that nature, it will actually make the difference towards New Earth as we would like to see it. So something as small as Mali kicking France out of their country, you guys, this is Mansa Musa consciousness coming through. I believe that Christ consciousness has been prevalent for hundreds of years now. And I also have noticed that a lot of ATR, which is African traditional religions or systems, consciousness come through the collective as well. It's a massive shift occurring, but I believe that we got to go through the chaos before we get to the order. So I've been looking at the world like, yep, the world is ending. Yeah, it sure is. The world is back. We're in the apocalypse. Then Death is like, no, Earth will end us before we end her. She ain't gonna let us sit here and keep doing all this damage. So the world as we know it is changing. The world as we know it is shifting. And the chaos is truly what's allowing that to happen as we know it. And she said she had to pull out the sick.
I wanted to say something, but now I forgot. Okay, so but remember, baby girl, like this is the divine feminine, the rise of. So it has to be chaotic, innit? Like it makes sense. And I'm gonna share with the collective. One time I asked Destiny, I was like, if you had to leave, it's scaring you lot because I'm gonna bring you lot back to the center. But I said to Destiny one time, I was like, if you had to leave your body to continue your ascension process, would you? And I already had my answer. Destiny can give you her answer. Jazz, I don't know if you want to think about that answer, but the way that it calmed me down, like that doesn't mean I'm gonna die. Like even if I was, it's neither here nor there. But the reason why that calmed me down, because we get back into this you know, I don't know if you know. So basically, when we talk about the change of era, you know, a new age. So we've come out of the age of Pisces and we've come into the age of Aquarius. But when we came into the age of Aquarius, we didn't only come out of just an age. We completed an entire epoch, which basically means 26,000 year cycle. This is how the Egyptians mapped everything out, and the Dogons and these ancients, even the Mayans, they knew how these 26-year cycles happened. Now, I'm going to bring you a little bit into the chakras of the earth. So the root chakra is in California. The sacral chakra is in Peru, in a place called Lake Titicaca. The solar plexus chakra is in Australia, and it's a twinned chakra. Now let's talk about that one. Now that chakra hadn't been able to do what it do because the 26-year thousand thing hadn't happened, the thing. So in 2020, March 2020, for the very first time, for the first time in 500 years, let me get this right, Pluto and Saturn got in a car together. So they were conjunct. So let's just say they got in a car together for the first time in 500 years. Now it is said that when this conjunction happened, that the Aboriginal people of Australia would then do a ceremony, create a ritual that will activate the solar plexus chakra. And what happens in the solar plexus chakra is that new species are created. So you have, you know, in the beginning you had one Homo sapien, let's say, and as time went on, you know, it developed into all these different branches of human, if you want. All right, so this chakra being activated in Australia means that two species will be created. One that I know of, which is the crystalline, which means that your body becomes lighter. This is why a lot of you are eating less. This is why a lot of you are going to plant-based. It's why a lot of you are cleansing and releasing and purging. This is what this has all been about, to crystalline your body. The sun is your most nutritious thing. This is why us three are suffering right now in these cold-ass countries, because we need the sun to nourish us. So the crystalline, please do your research on that as to what that is. But then you've also got a species that they suggested would be part human and part AI. Now I read this 5 years ago, so the concept was very sci-fi to me. I was just like, what the fuck do you mean? But it seems that there is this crystalline ascension of us happening, and there's also another set of people who are developing only God knows what through artificial means. Let's just say, I'm not going to say what it is, and I'm not going to go into it because I don't like to give it no life from my body. But this is all I'm saying. So the chaos that we are experiencing is even deeper than just the earthquakes. The chakras are doing things. So the heart chakra, which is in Glastonbury, which is here in the UK, has teamed up with the third eye chakra. Third eye chakra moves like the sun, moves through all the chakras at particular ages, right? So in this age of Aquarius, the third eye chakra has teamed up with the heart chakra. And they said that when that happens, there will be a call, there will be a signal and a sign. So when that happened in 2020, we experienced something that I called a pink rainbow. I don't know what the fuck it was. Some people said it was an actual orb, but it was, to me, with my plain eye from the roof of my house, it looked like a fucking pink rainbow with no rain. Yeah. And I believe that that was the signal to let what they called the misfits, all other species, we're talking about the giants, we're talking about the fairies, we're talking about the elementals, we're talking about all of these things to come and assist Earth to ground itself into this new age. So just say, I know we've gone this way left, we've gone very far left, but I feel like just to give you an understanding that as you are aligning your chakras or all of these things, the earth is actually doing exactly the same thing. So as we are coming together, we're talking about this unity consciousness. I'm talking about the solar plexus chakra in Australia. And again, they're coming with this unity consciousness. These people have had to come together to reclaim not only their land, but their legacy. And their ancestors have come in to help them. And I believe that in the whole world, the ancestors are going to be very loud and present. So again, you guys, nurture your relationship with your spirit teams, because these are the ones that are going to be guiding you at this time. And all three of us have been hesitant to really come in and talk like this to you, but we're here. And there's unity, there's power in numbers. I'm less scared to say what I'm saying. But I feel like it's something that just does need to be said. We're not scaremongering, we're just telling you.
Yeah.
That's all I want to say about
that. Okay, guys, we just have to remember to mute because people are complaining of echoing. So my take on this chaos energy is it actually is related to, I've downloaded based on downloads that I've received. So there's a couple sources. A couple of years ago, I had some friends, and what's weird is that there were 3 people that didn't know each other that had expressed to me that this is like 5-6 years ago, that they had dreams about end of days. So they wake up in cold sweats, having these dreams about complete chaos, destruction, and a sense of having to flee, and then like trying to find resources and family. 3 people, none of these people know each other. The Walking Dead. Many of you guys have watched that show. Now, Walking Dead, I loved. It was one of the most realistic depictions that I could resonate of this end of days. Like if you really watch it, the whole survival of the fittest, the whole what the priorities are when things like that, like if something like that were to happen, what people's priorities then become, and then that whole survival of the fittest, and then this whole like trying to establish order and power again, and then that fight for it. But what disconnected me from that was the zombies. Remember, Walking Dead's old, right? So this Walking Dead, I didn't know anything about the opioid fentanyl pandemic them times. So the idea of a zombie didn't relate to me in real life until we now look at the fentanyl opioid pandemic. And you guys can go to your local projects. You can watch an episode of Intervention. Like you can see that there's this sense of a zombie. Now, many of you guys know about a lot of drugs and you know the different highs. There's something very specific to those drugs and the effects that it has, like from Xans to like the opioids, those kind of things, right? And the fentanyl. So then it became not that far-fetched, having a bunch of zombies walking around, brainless, deadless people. Then this is a little far-fetched, but I'm going to just share it because there's strength in numbers. But what was this? This is probably now, this was maybe in May. No, sorry, this was the year before. So this was now going on a year and a half. So last summer, not this summer that just passed, the one before. And I'm going through heightened ascension, awakening, like it's heightened. And I'm at the gas station and I'm not high, I'm not drunk, I am completely sober. I'm going to Starbucks for my morning tea, okay? And there's this woman, okay? She's walking through the gas station and she's walking kind of slow. So I go into the gas station, pay, and as I'm coming out, she's still walking, but now I'm about to pass her to go to my car as she's walking towards the store. And I look up at her eyes and her entire eyeball was white. And I didn't know how to express that to anybody because I know if somebody expressed that to me, that how I would feel. So I felt very like hesitant to share that. I'm like, I must have, like, what the fuck was that? Is something wrong? And the divine asked me, what did you see? What did you see? Because I'm asking the divine, what was that? And they're asking me, what did you see? And I said, I saw a zombie. And we just left it at that. And then lastly, with this chaos energy, because all of this are channeled downloads. And I believe that this energy will take place, maybe not as dramatic and theatrical, but it's a channel download that somebody created a show and made a creative expression based on a download they got. That's how I look at certain shows, certain things, if not all of them. And no, not all of them are downloads, but you know what I mean, right? And Handmaid's Tale. Those of you guys that watched Handmaid's Tale, that is a channeled message about the war on fertility and genes and bloodlines and essentially slavery and how that will be modern, how that could be evolved, how slavery could be evolved. Could you imagine? Like, I'm not even going to go there, but this apocalyptic energy, if that's the right word, many of you guys have channeled your own end of days, apocalyptic, whatever you want to call it, or even just downloaded these needs to make really extreme moves or changes in order to avoid a conflict energy or an apocalyptic energy. It's like, I'll be honest, I had a vision of me listening to my city burn up in flames off of a fucking radio with an antenna somewhere in a bush. So I don't share these things because I don't want to, like Jass said, we're not trying to fear mongle or none of this shit. But if we're here sharing, we're sharing, right? If we're here talking about shit and this journey, we're talking about it. And we're not going to pretend that you guys don't download this shit too. You know, and don't share it because it's like, well, what do you explain? What do you say? You're trying to make reason out of it, but maybe there is no reason. Maybe they're just downloads. So Rasta told me once, awakened people never get caught in natural disasters because they'll intuitively be downloaded to move. So whatever, don't get caught up in how it will happen or when, like everything in this journey. Go within. Because when the three of us were talking about that, Mom said, like, because I was like, I don't want to share this. Like, how do I prepare? You can't really prepare somebody for that. She goes, well, if you help somebody go within, right? Do their own shadow work, they'll see it too. So this is more so what I wanted to share about this end of days is, guys, it is important. Whether you want to believe in it or not, the apocalypse, it's important to align yourself. If you are intuitively being told you need to move, you need to move. Change citizenship now. And Jass will touch on that too, because there's people have been downloading the need to really care about citizenship. We came from an era where Britain, America, and Canada, where all three of us stay, were the hot places to immigrate, the lands of opportunity. This is all changing. Africa's going through an industrial revolution. Okay. So that dollar is increasing. Opportunity is going there. It's going to dissolve here. So really think about citizenship. A lot of you guys have been intuitively downloaded to explore your cultures and find out, visit where you come from and all this stuff. Yeah, it's because you need to know yourself, but it can also be to try to align you to get out of where you're at, where you have honored citizenship. My brethren was sending me apps going, you need to get your citizenship for Jamaica like now. I'm like, I'm not even trying to go to Jamaica, but she's like, who cares? Like, I'm not trying to live there. You know what I mean? Like, but I can understand the importance of having that option. So those were my thoughts.
Just to piggyback off of what Destiny brought up, I think that in the direction that this world is going in, where our freedom may be the price to pay, having that option, like Destiny said, is very important. I know that I live in a fake democracy. I'm from the United States of America. I was born here, but I consider myself to be full-blown Haitian because of my upbringing. And I definitely feel like my mom had the download. So shout out to Ma Dukes. She was the one that told me and my brother, we going to the embassy, we getting y'all license first. Next time we go to Haiti, y'all getting y'all passport second. Because it was through that download that me and my mom realized the reason why she was one of the few children out of the 36 that my grandfather had that decided not to become a United States citizen, but just keep her permanent residency green card, is because in the United States, in order for you to become a United States citizen, you have to disown your original country. A part of what you are signing is saying, I am no longer a Haitian citizen in order for me to become an American citizen. That starts the process of revoking your freedom, your identity, your sovereignty, and so much other shit associated with just being identified or called a United States citizen. They damn near almost made you sell your soul just to be labeled as a United States citizen. So with that coming to mind, not even knowing that that was a part of the process, you know what I'm saying? It just made me realize that our freedom is a price. And if it's not now, eventually we're going to be able to pay with that shit. Your freedom is going to become a currency out here at the rate that this paradigm is shifting. So if you don't know what sovereignty means, let's get on top of it. And exalting these options are just putting you in the position to have that just in case, to have that rainy day emergency situation set up for yourself. I promise you, my ancestors left me acres that I'm just looking forward to the day the United States give me a reason to go cultivate at this point. Like, seriously. A lot of y'all have ancestry that you don't even know about that belongs to you. And whether you start today or tomorrow, just starting the process of figuring out what that looks like, where it's at, and who's still alive, and who knows who around the village, or whatever the case may be, you guys. The meek is getting ready to inherit the earth, like my sisters keep saying. And a lot of the meek is not over here where we're residing. The meek is back home, ready to teach us how to live back off the land and how to recultivate it, how to fall back in love with the ecosystem, how to become the alchemist, utilizing all of these elements to make shit work for our good. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of shifting happening right now. So I encourage everybody who is aware of whether it's your maternal or your paternal's bloodline and lineage, do your due diligence to really get down to the root and see, you know, how you can maybe set yourself up to be put in a position to just have a just in case, you know what I'm saying, situation. Shout out to Canada. What happened in Canada, Destiny? You said don't have face.
I just wanna touch on this whole Pluto return for the United States. That happens on the 2nd of the 2nd, 2022. So we were in a portal and this shit is happening. It hasn't happened. The last time Pluto had a return was at the birth of the United States of America. How about that? So in a Pluto being the keeper of secrets, you know, Pluto rules Scorpio, rules the underworld. So if Pluto is doing a return to the United States, every secret is going to be shoved up. And that comes to the meaning of what apocalypse means. Apocalypse is the revelation, the revealing of the truth. That's all that means. So we already know how the truth can be difficult for some people, and how difficult that will be to digest. I want to talk about the truth in a little while, but I also want to talk about survival. It's very, I mean, you know me and my generator. I'm looking at mine right now under my bed. I have it, solar powered generator. I bought it, 149. I bought it because I wasn't going to take any risks. I have a camping stove with gas. I have supplies. I have water. I have all of my essentials because I'm telling you what I've got so that you know that I'm not playing. Like, I'm not telling you to do it and not do it my damn self. I also have a rucksack, a camping rucksack with a tent underneath, because I'm not attached to nothing around here no more. This was the whole point of detachment. This is what, it wasn't just about detachment from, you know, habits and, you know, people and all of these things. This was all about detachments from all of the things, so that if at any point you are asked to get up and move, you can do that. Please, especially for the United States and even Canada. I don't know Canada that well, but I know for the United States, maps, old school, big ass maps. Get yourself a map. Do some research about your local area. What resources do you have? Where is there a river or a lake? Where is there fresh water that you can get your hold of? Where is there firewood? Where do these things, it sounds dramatic, but if we are going to be in a situation where the cities are going to be on fire, let's not lie. The cities are going to be on fire. If you're out of the city, you're not even that much at risk. But if you're in the heart of the city, like I'm in London, you know, one of the metropolitan cities of the world, I already know that there's a real possibility that I'm just going to have to get up and leave my yard. I know that. But I've been getting used to nature, especially my night walks, you know, getting used to I went camping one time. We just set up a tent somewhere random in the forest because I was like, I don't know what that feels like. So I don't want that to happen the first time if things get on top. Let me just ease myself into it, because normally I'm an Airbnb type of girl, you get, but in this climate that we are in, you know, simple living, simplify your lives as much as you can as well. Me and the girls talking about going away soon, you know, not having all of the mod cons. We're excited about that shit. You know, when I go home to Africa, my mum's got all the mod cons, but I have relatives that don't. And we just get on with it. You know, all of these things, it is about detachment at this time, but it's also about preparation and making sure you and your family are safe and ready for all eventualities. This shit could miss you completely and everything be cool. Do you understand? But at the same time, make sure that you have a level of preparation in place. And we've been banging on about this for years throughout our readings, throughout our talks with you, you know, and it's a very real reality. If you look at how we are having zero trust in governments and all of these things, you know, if you haven't already unsubscribed, then you better start getting into the mode of unsubscribing from something that doesn't serve you, never has, and think about what's going to be happening. And like the girls have been saying, we are integrating into the ecosystem. We have to. It's the only way we can really truly survive.
And just one thing, It's going to sound really random, but I just was triggered by Moon Goddess 777. Thank you, Mama D. That was a heavy download. Thank you. The ancestry test research, that whole ancestry.com, that's gene harvesting. You also sign off a certain amount. There's something you sign off on in the document towards your gene, your DNA. And I'm not a doctor. I'm a 10th grade. Like I don't have the formal education. So it's hard to channel a message like that. But I was told that essentially rely on your own exploration, your own downloads to explore your ancestry. Everything you're interested in, to the desire to visit, these are all linked to your ancestry. There's reasons why out of all the places in the world, you want to go to certain places, or you're interested or drawn to, or meet certain people that you get a lot of cultural exposure from. Do you get what I'm saying? So do it that way, the holistic way. But there's something about that whole, and if you watch The Handmaid's Tale, anybody who's watched fucking Handmaid's Tale already know what I'm talking about, yo. Because essentially, when shit hit the fan, they knew who to pluck. They knew who were fertile, who had good, because there was essentially the show talks about the fertility rate decreasing so badly that it puts humanity at risk. So then they enslaved the women that were fertile and could reproduce. And how would you have been able to find them? Through your what do you call, what kind of doctor? The pussy doctor, gynecologist. But yeah, anyways, just be and through these ancestry things. So just be careful with that. And I know that's super like, I'm not trying to be paranoid, and I know it might come off as conspiracy theory, but it just never sat well with me. And then I watched this show because I knew people who have gone and paid money and gone to the whole process and then visited places in Africa where they found out they were from and stuff. Like, I'm not saying it from that perspective, but essentially you're giving your DNA and then signing off. And that's, again, it goes back to what Jass is saying, the citizenship, what we sign, we have to be a lot more consciously aware about what we're signing. No different than a contract, right? A work contract. Well, think about your citizenship as a work contract. Marriage contracts. There's a lot of this, like being really cognizantly aware of what you sign yourself into and involved in. And there is karma associated with land. Do the math. You know where it's going to crumble, and you know where it's going to flourish because of karma. We know enough to know where's going to be popping and what places are going down in ruin. You guys know.
I also been downloading that a lot of people have been contemplating this whole moving energy for a while now. And I feel like a lot of the reason why we have all been stagnated or procrastinating towards it is because of impressions being placed upon us. Since we've been in grade school, you guys, Africa was the poor, the weak, the hungry, and the malnourished, while America, UK, Canada, and everything else was the more developed and elevated countries, to the point where they will even call my country, all three of our countries, Jamaica, Zimbabwe, Haiti, third world, when in all actuality, these people are living first world, the way that we actually lived when we first came into this world. So where we have migrated away from our original territories is now third world living. And what we placed our value towards is determining where we're choosing to migrate next. If you still value shit like this, electricity, your television, and all of these other things that aren't conducive to your spiritual growth, then you will find yourself being more comfortable in staying in your comfort zone in these places. But I promise you guys, it's only when I go to Haiti, where I'm in the middle of La Vallée Jacques Mel in the mountains with no towers and no Wi-Fi, that I dream every night and wake up remembering my dreams every night, that I feel vibrations come through my body. It's the only time that I will go and eat 3 times more than what I eat here and lose 10-15 pounds, because the food is cleansing me and detoxing me. You hear me? It's because of what we've been giving value to. We've been giving value to all the wrong shit, and that's why a lot of us haven't went back to the sacred lands that we belong on, that the ancestors need us to stand on, so that they could be closer to us in a sense as well. So finding out and tracing that back, she said, I want to leave America. You ain't the only one, Pretty Lauren. You ain't the only one. And I promise you, it's not just the food. It's not just the chemtrails. It's so many different ways that they're trying to kill us. I told y'all, back home, there's no towers. What you mean a Wi-Fi signal? No. We go to sleep with no radiation surrounding us. Why is my subconscious that active when there's no manipulation of energy and radiation surrounding me? Why am I dreaming and vividly dreaming and lucidly dreaming and remembering my dreams, but I'm over here and I got to keep a dream journal that look like gibberish when I'm looking back at it because I don't remember shit. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of tampering with, it's a lot of manipulation that's happening in certain more developed areas, and that's where a lot of the majority of us reside. So if you find that your ancestors been calling you back home, whatever home is to you, or whatever actually just feels like home, don't deny yourself of tuning in or tapping into that intuitive vibration that's being sent to you, and pay attention to what you value, because some of us have not been valuing the ecosystem, and that's what's been keeping us from reconnecting to it all along. So just our values are changing with this paradigm.
Just to go back real quick on we're talking about contracts and these things, citizenship and stuff. First of all, I don't know about the rest of the world. I know that in the United Kingdom, once you've signed a birth certificate, you're not even a person, you're a bond. You know, they make money off of your birth certificate registration. Every time you register a child, that's why we're called parents. We are a pair of people renting a child. You have to understand the English language, y'all. You understand? We don't belong to ourselves, nor do our children belong to us, but they belong to the state. That's why when they, especially here, they love to arrest young black boys. They just take them into custody because they belong to them. So just be mindful. I know a lot of people, a lot of awakened people in my community who haven't registered their children but they're still managing to move around. So you've also got to understand that not everything that you've been told is so. You have to do your diligent work and look for alternatives. Don't think just because you are not you haven't registered your child, or you yourself are not registered, that you can't move around. Also, again with the American citizens, now there's a lady called I Am the Realest to Ever Do It. I've been following her for a couple of years. She helps with indigenous people, and she calls Black American people indigenous people. She says that a lot of y'all never came from slavery in the first place. Y'all were on the land when they got there. So this is the land. So therefore, what they call it, you need to change your, first of all, I saw something about being called African American. African American is a term that just lets you know that you belong to the state. It's not a nationality. It doesn't represent a nationality. So y'all need to, first of all, stop calling yourself that. You are indigenous people of the land. You are Americans. You are the original Americans, and you need to change your citizenship from whatever you have now into American. I Am the Realest to Ever Do It can help you do that. She can point you in the right direction. So I just wanted to put that out there because it's a false document. It just means that you belong to the state in the same way that I explained the birth certificates. You belong to the state. The 14th Amendment just meant that you were released from your slave owner into the state. The state owns you. So we really research, like Jass said, what sovereignty really means. And some of y'all are due some land because it's yours. Okay, so do your research.
I feel like I went into trance. Like it's been an hour. We were straight. You guys want to pull? So what do you guys say? You guys want to pull a couple cards, or is that ruining the moment? Like, I don't know. Like, I just feel like I came out of trance. Just turned in. Hey, Jazz, you got the tribe going crazy.
I know everybody's like, what happened to the locks, Jazz? What's going on? What happened?
Nah, people are going off.
I told y'all I was going through something spiritual. Y'all know how much I cried coming out the damn thing.
It was a whole cathartic experience.
It was.
Which Jazz is gonna do a whole reading about. Did we talk about that? Yeah.
Yeah, I am. But the locks are not gone forever, you guys. I will be relocking my hair at the end of this year, and I wanted to start over. Honestly, I did.
Okay, we're gonna pull a couple of cards. Yeah. You already know. Yeah, got me hyped. All right, I'm down. We'll pull a couple. We'll just go around once maybe.
You want to do one card spread, one card each spread?
Okay, that's good.
Okay. Mama, you gonna pray?
First of all, we want to do a prayer for those that are affected by these earthquakes and these shifts and these things, who are without essentials at this time. You know, we want to pray for the families and for the land. You know, we want to pray to the ancestors and ask them to humbly protect your children, protect those that have got nothing to do with this. And yeah, I'm not really good at praying like that. I mean, I just made up this prayer. The one that I do, I just made it up in 2020. I didn't pray before that. I didn't know how to. So yeah, I just want to make sure that we are sending our energy. That's what we can do more than anything. Send our energy and our love and our light to those that really need it around the world at this time, because we're all fighting together, but some are really doing more than others. So I just want to definitely send out our Three of Cups love, our collective love to all of y'all. Okay, so for the Angel Gang, for the A1 Day Ones, and for my G's, let's get into that prayer. Our Divine Mother and Father who live within us, higher be thy name, our freedom come, your will be done on earth as it is within us. Give us this day our daily breath, and forgive us our trespasses against ourselves and others, as we forgive those who trespass against us and themselves, through all lifetimes, timelines, and levels of consciousness. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from the absence of love. For we are the kingdom, we are the power. Divided we are weak, united we are victorious. And to you, Almighty, we give all of the glory. Forever and ever, Duanete. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It is done, it is done, it is done, and so it is, and so it will be. I ask that you join up the ancestors of myself, Destiny, and Jass, so that we can give a nice, clear, precise message to the collective at this time for whatever it is that they need to know. Ashe.
Ashe.
We love it here.
I love you guys. All of you. I just get washed with these like radiance of love, and I'm like, whoa. They come over me like waves from the ocean. Oh, so you guys are on mute because I guess I'm first? Oh no, Jazz is first. I saw that face. Yo, Jazz, you first.
It's just funny to me. I was just talking about dreams. And I just channeled dreams are real. And all you have to do is just believe. Some of you guys have dreams that are supposed to be big as shit, that they're supposed to scare you. They're supposed to put a little, I hear, with your heart beating full. You know what I'm saying? It's supposed to make you feel a little applied pressure. The card says vivid dreaming, dream messages, and dream teaching. And I literally just heard the dream realm is merging. You know, that subconscious mind is merging with the conscious mind in this now moment. And your wildest dreams, some of those things that you guys thought were unimaginable, and very, very far-fetched, it's time for you to realize your worth. You wouldn't be seeing it, thinking it, or believing that something is possible here, collective, if you weren't worthy of experiencing it and bringing that shit down, like Des said, all the way from the ethers down through the root. Bring it into this world, you know? We was just talking about dreams, and if you're from Haiti, rule number one, the dream realm is the real realm. Your parents tell you they had a dream, your ass can't go over that person's house. You can't go out the next day. You got to stay home from school sometimes if your mama had a dream, because the dream realm where I come from, y'all, is powerful. It is the dimension that is 10 steps ahead of the one that we're physically residing in. So most of the time our dreams become premonition like. They're almost in a sense of where we get to visit or experience or live out some aspect of the future timeline. And I feel like a lot of our downloads are these visions being presented to us for us to experience and live out what that future timeline looks like, how that paradigm shift really feels like. It's like almost giving you a taste of it before it actually presents itself. So pay attention to your dreams, collective. A lot of us are waking up, and some of you guys remember, some of you don't remember, but the whole collective, I hear, is actively in their subconscious while they're sleeping. There's another emphasis on daydreams. Daydreams is the same shit. You're just accessing that same dimension while you're awake and not while you're asleep. But when you're zoned out, you're tapped in to your subconscious. And that's why it's called daydreaming. Because most of the time when you're having that daydream vision or whatever, you're here, but you ain't here. Your mind is elsewhere. So a lot of you guys are getting clear visions of what's getting ready to happen. Now, do you trust yourself enough to believe is the question. Do you trust yourself enough to believe in what you see? And some of you guys are not dreaming big enough. Your ancestors said bigger, bigger, bigger. Go bigger. Go hard or go home. Seriously. Some of y'all not dreaming big enough. They want y'all to dream bigger. I literally just heard, you know who we are? That's too small for them. For some of y'all, that's too small for them. Go bigger. Go hard or go home. They don't want you to do it if you're going to use your half ass. They only want you to step into it if your full ass is involved. So if your dreams don't scare you here, collective, may you reevaluate them so they like that fire in you, that passion in you, and really get you going out here. That's my one card. I love y'all.
You see all the people, the chat blowing up with the dream business. Yes. Okay. Mom, do you have a card? Mom's just looking at me. Mom, want to wrap this. You ready or you want me to go?
I got a card.
Okay.
Look at what the card is, y'all. See that?
Seven of Swords.
Fingers covering it.
Seek the truth. Apocalypse. Seek the truth, and the truth. Look at this. Look at where she is. Oh, it's so difficult to show you. Look at where she is. Can you see? She's revealing. She's revealing something. She's opening up. You know, these look like heads. This could all be dreaming. You know, a lot of the. I mean, look at it. When you were talking, Jazz, I'm like, shit. Then they're not playing. And a lot of, especially with this Pluto return coming for the Americas, you know, it is seek the truth, dismiss all of the garbage that's going to, because there's going to be a lot of deception trying to cover up the truth as this Pluto return takes place for the Americas. There's going to still be a lot of, because I said to the girls, I was like, if they're relaxing all of the rules that they were so adamant about, what is the real threat? What is the real threat? Because now they're not trying to distract us too much with that. They're saying, oh, let's just kind of forget about it. you know, because that's what it feels like here in London. I mean, the rules weren't even that strict to begin with. But now I'm thinking to myself, well, this is where our spirit of discernment, if this is the 7 of Swords coming up, then we have got a dose of deception coming our way. And I believe that now we have to really, again, watch me now, go right back to the sacral chakra and look at how you are, your first brain. Is it nourished? Is it clear? You know, are you able to discern well enough, or are you still feeding yourself low vibrational things? And that's in every sense of the word. So that you need to be as clear as you need to make some sacrifices at this time. There were really something, even me. I mean, you lot saw me bill up right here in your face. So you know I'm with you lot. But there are some things that we're going to have to sacrifice just to make sure that we are completely aware, completely have our wits about us at this time. Because, yo, 7 of Swords. And this as well, the lady in the red dress. Do you know who this is to me? This is Oya. This is Oya. She runs Oya is the Orisha who governs the 4th dimension. She's the keeper of those that who take their last breaths from one life into the next. So if Oya is the one that is here revealing and bringing back these curtains, again, we just come back to this chaos. There has to be a level of chaos in order for the truth to be revealed. So I feel like this card is just asking us to make sure that we are using our discernment. We are making sure that we are not being bamboozled by anything that is false, and just keep your ear to the ground for the truth. And normally that will come through your dreams, through your meditation, through your intuition. So keep that as clear and clean as possible. That's all.
There was so there was just a comment. I was going to pin it, but I lost it. Just one more thing before I already have our card too. I haven't seen it yet. Somebody said that apocalypse isn't actually as scary as we're made to believe that it is. That is so dead on, because the fact of the matter is, it's the biggest tower we've seen. We pray for it. We beg for it. It brings freedom. Exactly. So don't be afraid of this apocalyptic energy, and embrace it and explore it within yourself, because it will make you aligned for whatever it is. Okay. But anyway, so we already got the one card, and it's A. We did it. We fucking did it. Like Mom said, it's over. It's done. Hey, Mom, you think it's a coincidence that you've had that energy, and out of all of our places we live, yours was the first to come off of it?
No, I don't think, I don't believe in coincidences in the first place. Everything's divinely orchestrated. So, you know, we're just going to sit and watch this shit play out now. You know.
Yeah, can you summon our government to shut this down too? Because we're ready.
I might go in the bush in the morning early.
Something, please.
In the morning. Get me.
Something small, a little something, okay?
Okay, I got you.
Thank you, Mom. Okay, the Wheel of Fortune. So before I read it out of the book, I'm going to read it out of the Tarot of Marseille. You guys know that's where I get all the tea from. These little breakdowns here, I love them. Here it is, perfect, the Wheel of Fortune. But I'm going to channel what I got right away from this. The reason why I was like, yes, finally we're done, because essentially there's a new experience. I look down and the first thing I see is paradigm shift. It's the name of somebody's. The paradigm shifts, essentially all the work that you did within is now turning the wheel and creating a new experience without. So collective, all your hard work, you're about to see it now in the flesh. All the change that you made within yourself, in the way, all the limiting beliefs that you broke out of, it's going to now be reflected in your third dimension, your lifestyle. You're going to see the universe supporting you to live a more fulfilled, free, expanded lifestyle that is just a reflection of yourself. So instead of thinking the world is against you, you saw how you were against yourself, and that the universe was just reflecting the way you look at yourself and life. And now that it's changed, now that you've expanded, the universe is like, yes, I can now mirror that to you. And that's what I got when I saw the Wheel of Fortune. But I'm going to read it from the book and find out what it really means. Okay.
Sorry, can I also say,
yes, Mom.
Oya, can I also say that Oya also is represented by the Wheel of Fortune? Okay. The
Really?
same, yeah, the same Oya.
Oh, that's wild.
She's represented by the Wheel of Fortune. I'm just saying.
That's wild. You add, I love it. I just love this. Okay, I'm going to read this out of the book now because Eugene, you know, he gets into detail, right? So the Wheel of Fortune, life is rushing along. There are a lot of faces flashing in the wheel of its motion. None of them can even be seen. There are some people whom the wheel of fortune raises almost to heaven. Are they happy? One great ruler was lifted by life to peak of success. He aspired to control the destinies of others and got this opportunity. His country prospered for many years, and his subjects forgave him much for their well-fed and quiet life. But the Wheel of Fortune does not turn by the will of mortals. Once there was a pestilence and famine in the country. The people rose up, reminding the ruler of all his mistakes and blunders, and dethroned him. He managed to escape and wandered the roads with a beggar's purse. He could not accept his fate for a long time, repeating the words, "I used to rule." He saw and learned much in his meager and hard life. Gradually, he grew old and became humble and wise. One day, when he sat down to rest under a tree after a hard road, he realized that he was no longer tormented by the passions and ambitions, the ambitious thoughts, and he was happy with what he already had. General meaning, rapid change of events, exciting adventures, abrupt changes in life, evolutionary process, cyclical changes, karmic changes, time phases, cycles, and sequences of events, monotonous everyday life that drags on, ruthless wheel of fate, game addiction, work, prominent person, people destined to play an important historical or public role, lucky chance, self-actualization, extraordinary career rise, ambition, opportunity to wake up famous, a lucky person, rules, regulatory documents, bureaucracy, following one's path, airports. Oh, that one's for me. The airports. That one's for me. Money, winning the lottery. Oh shit. Winning the lottery, casino, gambling, sudden enrichment, great financial fortune, suddenly receiving a large inheritance, a big score, dangerous money. Oh guys, be careful. Persons and feelings, a gamer, a gambler, tumultuous feelings that come on suddenly, an unusually bright, exciting, and meaningful relationship, a love passion of great power, an incredible social rise thanks to marriage with a person who is richer or much higher in social status. Advice. Oh, I hear the tribe. I hear the bitches in the tribe going up. Advice. Outline a course, a route for work or a trip abroad. It's in the fucking. Oh my god, guys! I'm so excited. Okay,
I'm hyped.
I'm too hyped right now. Okay, this is the only card in this fucking deck I was looking for. I'm excited. It came. Okay. Rejoice in your luck or the success of your loved ones. Seek your place in life. Act with great scope. Move quickly. Dream bigger. Act with great scope. Dream bigger. Move quickly and change the environment. Now, this is the reverse meaning. Okay, don't trip out, guys. This is just the reverse. You decide which one resonates more with you. You make that decision. Okay, general meaning: failure, lack of progress, involution, endless repetition of the same action and events. Work, convoyer, actions taken to automatism, exposure to external circumstances, crisis, stagnation. Oh my God, we're not just talking about crisis. And then money, indiscriminate spending, unaccounted for work, loan and mortgage payments, no prospect of income growth, discouragement, a bad period in relationships, monotony, lack of vivid emotions. And the advice: live in rhythm, accept what is happening, rejoice in the everyday little things. All right, guys, I don't think I need to say anything after that. I think I made the point. I think we all channeled very clearly what we were meant to channel to wrap up that very intense 1 hour stream of clear downloads. Love what we do. All right, guys.
We love
you. Unless you guys have anything else, I think we can wrap up. The A1s, thank you guys. My G's, Angel Gang, I love all of you guys. We're next. Whose house are we at next? Is it Mama's? Okay, so we're at Mama's house next week, next Friday, guys. You know, get cozy, get your dinners, you know, chill with us. We're building up a really strong vibe and a covet together. And what we're doing here with you guys, the three of us, but with you guys is special. It's beautiful. And thank you for, you know, just listening to us and being here, right? So until next week, keep letting your beautiful inner angels live. Oh, and I'll see you guys.
Love y'all.
Oh, we see you Monday, Destiny.
Yeah.
Wait.
I'm going to keep you going.
Turn notifications on. You made me turn on notifications.
I'm going to commit.
Make y'all miss it.
I love you guys.
Love y'all. Bye, lady.
Bye.